Hi everyone, I'm Julie Esmondalsh.
And I'm Sean Connolly.
And this is
Coli Cast. Okay, so here we are at the Coliseum Theatre again with site manager Dave. We're currently stood where the old studio theatre is. Just following on from the last episode, Dave, can you just give us a bit of an update of where we are now with the renovation of the theatre?
Yeah, I think when you were here last time, the demolition crew had just started. So they've slowly been going through the building, taking all of the old services out and the existing walls where we found that they don't quite come up to current building regulations. The roof has started on the roof, stripping the old roof back where we've come across quite a few rotten timbers, so we have a timber specialist in also who's replacing the timbers to allow the roofing to continue on.
Right, okay, fantastic. So just in terms of the renovation itself, and how many people have you got working on site at the moment, just as a bit of curiosity?
We generally have between 10 and 20 people, depending on what operations are going on during that day.
Just going back from what we were saying then, when I walked through the old dressing rooms, you said that that's not going to be here at all. Can you just give me a bit of an idea of what the progress is with that?
So in the next, probably by the time you do your next podcast, we'll have put propping in there and knocked the old brickwork walls down. Currently it's a very thin corridor and doesn't give you much room for manoeuvre, so the roof currently is supported on them brickwork walls, so we have to replace the roof with some new roof structure, knock them walls down, and then it gives us the ability to move the walls to wherever we need them to be.
On the back of what you said there in terms of the milestones that you've been reaching, we mentioned about the roof, mentioned about the changing rooms, etc. What's your next target? What's your next milestone going forward, just for the viewers and listeners at home to have a bit of an understanding of that?
Yeah, so the next milestone really is to make the building watertight. So once the demo's finished and the roof works are finished, essentially we can be watertight, and then we can start the next set of phases, which are bringing in the dry liners and so on. The M&E can make a start, and then we can progress the building gradually. So
Dave, just mentioned then about being stood in the studio theatre, and what the viewers at home can't see is I can see the old leadway into where the circle bar was. Now, I used to work on the circle bar as well, because I've done quite a bit here. I used to work on the circle bar as well, and we were just having a little conversation off camera, me and Dave then, and you mentioned that there's no bar anymore. So tell me what's happened there, why it's been knocked through.
So both of the bars, both upstairs and downstairs, are both getting replaced. So
right, okay.
We've currently stripped everything out, so it's back to bare bones at both of them now.
Right, okay.
You wouldn't even know there was a bar there now.
Really? Right. So the plan, obviously, that this is a little bit further down the line. I'm not, you know.
One of the last things we do is reinstall a bar.
Right, okay, fantastic. We did have a chat off camera as well about that little walkway there is where the old ghost used to haunt. So I don't know if you know about, there's allegedly, we'll say, a ghost that haunted the Coliseum, and he was called Harold Norman. And in the circle bar, just to the right hand side, I presume this isn't here anymore, but there used to be a plaque with his head on it, and it used to say rest in peace, and that was meant to ward off the evil spirits because he was there watching you. So whilst you've been here, whether you're into the paranormal or not, have you had any activity going on? Has there been any strange noises, any poltergeists walking through?
We do mention it as part of the induction, just as a bit of fun for the people that start and work, and some of them will then come back and say, I've heard some creepy noises, but so far no one's seen anything to report anyway. Of
course, and I presume most of the time you work here is Monday, Friday, 9 till 5, is it?
Yes.
So yeah. Maybe you should do a shift on the early hours of Sunday morning in the dark, and we'll see if Harold turns up.
If you can get Tilbury Douglas to pay for it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, brilliant. No, but thank you very much for your time there, Dave. We've learned a lot about the progress of the theatre, a little bit about the ghost as well in the circle bar, so it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, Dave.
No problem.
Hello and welcome back to Coli Cast. Today I am joined by Jimmy Fairhurst of Not Too Tame. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us, Jimmy.
No, thank you for coming in.
So first of all, can you tell us a little bit more about Not Too Tame, please?
Yeah, not too tame. We do what we say on the tin. So we're a bit like Ron Seal, for those people who remember that for a reference. Not too tame, a company that I created about 10 years ago now. Basically we make work that feels like an event. All my mates who are working class, who come from, if they've got 20 quid, they might not go to a play, but they'll go to a show, and if they, you've got to make big good bang for your buck. And we make work and tell stories with working class artists and through the prism of working class culture. So it doesn't matter if it's Twelfth Night, Midsummer Night's Dream, Cinderella. We go, what's a not too tame version of that, and we know who we're speaking to.
Fantastic. And a few weeks ago, it was announced that Oldham Coliseum was going to be putting on a Christmas fair in association with Not Too Tame. So can you tell me a little bit more about that show and what people can expect?
So yeah, Oldham Coliseum came to me and said, would I be interested in directing a Christmas fair by Jim Cartwright? Who doesn't want to work with Jim Cartwright, do you know what I mean? And a Christmas fair is a brilliant piece that was written about 12 years ago. It's set in... it's a Christmas fair, and actually the whole show is, the first half of it is these people from the town setting up this Christmas fair. Then the audience actually get to go to an actual Christmas fair, come in, have some mulled wine, better buy yourself some Christmas presents or buy someone else Christmas presents. And then there's a grumpy grotto, you'll find, a reluctant Mr. John Henshaw will be, not John Henshaw, a reluctant caretaker, the character. There's a grotto at the half time. And then the second half, the stories that are shared in the beautiful, poetic, brilliant Northern brogue that Jim Cartwright has written for us. So the first half is setting it up, second half is putting it away, and then afterwards as well there'll be like some post-show entertainment, and this is all being done in at Chadderton Town Hall, site-specific and immersive, and in the heart of Oldham, and it's everything you want from a Christmas show. It's I always say it's a bit like a good best man speech. Make them laugh, make them cry, and get out, leave them wanting more. Brilliant.
And you mentioned John Henshaw there.
Yeah.
And we're currently sat here on your lunch break. You've been in search of further cast members today. So can you tell me a little bit more about the casting for this show?
Yeah, well, it's really important. So first and foremost, I'm an actor, do you know what I mean? And I'm an actor from the North I only came back to North in about 2022. But there's so much brilliant talent, and actually, actors want to get in the room, and you don't get that opportunity a lot anymore. It's on self-tape. So for me, not just for this show, but I know it's the same for Oldham Coliseum, there's a dialogue between us and other artists in the region. It's not about us and them, it's about us together. So today we're doing 4 sessions of open auditions, or workshop auditions I should say, 4 groups of 20. And these people are come from all across the north, which is great, and some further afield, to find 2 more parts. So there are 5 professional roles in the company. 3 have been cast, who is John Henshaw, the caretaker, Sam Robinson is Veronica, sorry, Amanda Land, and then we've got Dick and Tyrrell playing the vicar. And then the 2 parts left are Lucy, who is very much Oldham, in a person, Oldham, salt of the earth, and then Johnny, who's your archetypal angry young man. And we're meeting people today, and it's an opportunity for us to give people a taste of what a not too tame vocabulary is, and so they get to audition us in a way. Is this a company I want to work for? But it also means that we can be seen in the room, and so far so good. Everyone seems to have a nice time and go, oh, I didn't know I could enjoy an audition. And we're joined today by our associate artist is Laura Harrison, who's Warrington herself, like myself, and Ben Holder, also from Warrington. Who knew there were artists from Warrington? But Ben Holder is a fantastic West End MD, musical director, who was actually the MD on the Wicked film. And Laura also, has come off from a year of standby as Elphaba in the West End, like with Jamie Lloyd. And so a big thing for us is, making great work for these, for wherever we are, these regional northwest or northern towns that deserve good quality content, but also we want to make sure that we're sending the elevator back down and giving young local artists and potential future artists an opportunity to go, oh great, I could work in my own town with a great company like that and be part of the DNA. We're going to find there's a couple of young people in this company, so there'll probably be another level of auditions for young people in and around Oldham to be part of this as well.
finally, because since we started talking about Christmas, it sort of interested me when we're still only in October. By the time Christmas comes around, will you be tired of Christmas music, or will you still be going home and putting on the Christmas tunes?
Oh, well, I don't know. Well, do you know what? We've been singing some carols and doing Slade. I mean, Slade, and there's obviously, the number one favourite of Fairy Tale in New York. But I used to be a bit of a bar humbug, and as the caretaker says, knackers to Christmas in the show. But actually, it's joyous, and I think that's so. No, I think I'll be okay. I mean, ask me that question, come when we open on the 17th of December, and I might have a different answer for you. But no, it's great.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Jimmy. And people can get their tickets now.
Yeah, tickets are on sale now, and there is a limited availability because it's a Chatterton Town Hall. So I would snap them up because it will sell out. We always do, but not too Tame. Thank you very much. And then people go, oh no, but I should have. We told you. So get your tickets, get your mates' tickets, get your nan's tickets because it will sell out.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, and all the best of luck with the show as it goes on.
Thank you so much for your time. Cheers.
Hello and welcome back to Coli Cast. I'm joined today by Sue Devaney. Welcome, Sue. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Thank you, and thank you for having me. This lovely establishment, Valentino's. That's where we are today.
Sue is currently capturing the nation's hearts, playing Debbie Webster on Coronation Street, portraying a very difficult storyline at the moment, but winning over the nation's hearts and critics, and being nominated for awards.
That is so kind of you, because I think when the producer first said, we've got a storyline for you and we'd love you to play it, and then when they told me, it's a lot to take on, because I think for me, my first thing was, can I do it justice? Can I do it well enough? And it's not like you're telling a story for 6 weeks, like if you're doing a drama, or if you're doing a theatre show, you're doing it for 3 months or whatever. You're telling a story over a long period of time. So I need to know. Please, I can handle it. Just tell me what it is. Is it epilepsy, cancer, a brain tumour? Please, doctor. Please, I just want to know.
My concern is that the body of your symptoms, together with the TIA, might indicate the early onset of dementia.
And it's a lot, because it does. My husband's father has got dementia, and so it's kind of, because we're looking after him as well. So it's my day job and when I come home as well.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It is.
To tackle.
It's what I trained at the Oldham Coliseum for, and Oldham Theatre Workshop. So yeah. So I'm hoping David Johnson's up there looking over me going, go on, that's my girl. Yeah.
I'm sure he is. And of course you honed your craft at Oldham when you were just a girl.
Yeah.
How did that sort of set you up for to tackle, to go on and do these kind of storylines?
I think I've been very lucky because I didn't go to drama school. When I was about 7, I used to watch lots of musicals on the telly, like Doris Day, and I loved her. And then I went to Sight Junior Theatre Club when I was 7. I did tap and ballet, and we started to do shows, and I always wanted to play like, Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz and Cinderella, the lead. I wanted to be the lead. No, you can't do that, Sue, because you're a character actor, am I? A 7-year-old. What's a character? You're going to play the comedy parts. So you're going to be the Scarecrow, then you're going to be... then you're going to be like an ugly sister, and then you're going to be a wicked Caraboss, and you're like, okay, all right then, But I didn't understand at the time, but I understand now. And then I went to Oldham Theatre Workshop. I did a Wakes workshop first at Oldham Coliseum, and I stood on the stage at the Oldham Coliseum, and I thought, yeah, this is what I want to do. And then I went to Oldham Theatre Workshop with David Johnson, and David was amazing, because if you weren't, you know, if you didn't want to be an actor, you just went there, and, you know, anybody that was didn't feel like they fitted in anywhere, and I never felt like that at school. I always felt like I was slightly odd, and I don't know why, I just didn't quite fit in. But when we got to Oldham Theatre Workshop, you could be anything that you wanted to be. I think I must have been about 18, and I was living in London then, but I used to come back up, and I remember seeing that theatre bar at the Coliseum, and it had all the pictures of the actors behind the bar, and I used to look at those black and white photographs, and I used to think, I want to be up there one day. I might want my picture up behind that Oldham Coliseum bar, because then I'll have made it.
And what's your earliest memory of the Coliseum?
When I was 14 and we were doing Wakes Workshop, and Sue Jenkins and her husband was directing us, David Fleischman, and again I remember looking at them thinking, they're proper actors. And I must have been 13 actually, 13. I want to be like them.
You forget how time goes on, but not too long ago, you came back and done several shows. I mean, you did Panto there, you did Our Gracie. Tell me some of your highlights.
I think my biggest highlight of the Coliseum Theatre was when Kevin Shaw, I'd just got off a plane, I'd just finished Mamma Mia, and I'd been touring that show for about 18 months all around. We ended up in South Korea for 5 months. It was an international tour of Mamma Mia. And I got back, my friend picked me up from the station, from the airport, and we were driving back home, and I got a phone call from Kevin, and he said, Sue, he said, I know this is a long shot, but we're doing Gracie Fields, the musical, Our Gracie. I'd love you to play Gracie, are you free? I said, well, funnily enough, I've just got off a plane, finished Mamma Mia, and I would love to do Gracie. So I went into meeting, and the play hadn't been written yet. I don't know whether it's because I'm just like, because I've never trained, only at Oldham Theatre Workshop, so I've always learned on the job. So whatever job I've done, I'm thinking, right, okay, I can do a musical, yeah, I can do that, yeah, I can do that. So I kept saying to Kevin, are you sure I can do this? Because I don't know if I can sing that high, I don't know, yeah, there's only you, we want you to do it, so I want you to do it, you are Grace. And you know, it really pushed me, and I think that's the thing what the Coliseum did for me. No other theatre has done it, and that's it's the strength of the people that work there. They believe in you, even if you don't believe in yourself. You know, and we have the beautiful MD that's Howard Gray, and he's worked there a lot, and. He said to me, Kush can do it, Kush can do it. I said, yeah, but it's these really high songs. Yeah. No, are you sure? Because I always put my mates up for jobs. Yeah, but I think she'd do it better, and I think that she'd be a perfect no, Sue, we want you. And I'll always be grateful to Kevin Shaw for believing in me when sometimes I'm like, oh, can I do it? You know? And I think that's I don't know if that's a working class thing of not feeling like a little bit like, what's the word? It's like when an imposter syndrome. It's imposter syndrome, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you so much. This is nice. Bon appetit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
enjoy your meal. I hope it's not too spicy for you.
No, I like a bit of spice, love. Like it spicy, like my life. And that was great playing Gracie Fields because you interacted with the audience, and I just loved it. It's one of the best jobs I've ever done. One of the best jobs, and yeah. And there it was at the Coliseum Theatre, you know.
Oldham is famed for its pantomimes, and would it have been 2016, 2017 when you were in panto at Oldham?
I think it was, yeah. I think it was, yeah. I've done quite a few pantos, and I love it because if you haven't worked much during the year, and then if you get a phone call from the Coliseum saying, "Oh, panto, so are you free and available?" I think, yeah, absolutely. It's 3 months' work.
Yeah.
You know what's the best as well? It's like if you're doing a commercial panto, you have to put somebody else's costume on, fit into somebody else's costume because they've just got, you know, wardrobe after wardrobe of costumes over the years that they've used. The great thing about Oldham is they make the costumes from scratch.
Yeah.
And they have people in the wardrobe department that have been there for years. And it was so special. So when the Coliseum was shutting down, I was getting married that year. So Jane would get me in and she'd say, right, they were getting rid of all the props and all the furniture. So when I got married, at my wedding, I had all the Coliseum props. I had like the chaise longue, all the chairs, the tables, yeah. And I had all those at my wedding. And the lady, Janet, who worked in wardrobe at Coli for years, she made my wedding dress. She normally does me panto baggy costumes. She made me wedding dress. Fantastic. Can you do me? Because honestly, she did me bodice and all that. Yeah. She said, "What do you want it like?" I said, "Oh, a Vivienne Westwood special." She went, "Right, leave it with me." Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, you know, yeah, yeah. I've got so many friends still there. Yeah.
And what are you most excited about when it comes to the reopening?
The audience.
There's something special about Oldham audiences, isn't there?
There's no other audience like it. They tell you if you're rubbish.
I'm sure they never told you though.
Well, you know, I've had them shout, "Oh, I don't like that. What's she wearing that for?" Yeah. Yeah.